Hey brothers, I know you're here to learn more about Spitphase. Who is it for? What is it? How does it work? So would you mind giving me a few minutes of your time so I can help clear that up for you, and why I'm so passionate about Spitphase and helping men like you and me. There we go, just set you up here. So guys, I just want to talk about the man I used to be well over a decade ago and tell you a bit of a story about myself. I was struggling with addiction. I struggled with addiction for a lot of my adult life. My family life was not too good. My married life was not too good. Lacked self-respect. Self-belief was taking an absolute battering, and basically guys, I was wasting away. Do you know what it's like to wake up every morning, not be happy with who you were the day before, and you wake up in the morning and you say, today's going to be a different day, today I'm going to do it different, and by the end of the day you're doing the same thing. You're just doing the same thing. What that does for your self-respect and your self-belief is brutal. It's devastating for a man. My body was broken, I was overweight, and I was spiraling badly out of control. And that was the man I was well over a decade ago. And maybe lots of you brothers can relate to that. I had genuinely tried in the past with my addiction to give it up, and it worked for 2 months, 3 months, and then I just fell off the bandwagon again, and then I'd try again and I'd fall off. And when you do that over a period of time, it messes with you, man. It messes with you to the stage of you actually thinking that this is the way it's just going to be for the rest of my life. And when your home life is bad, when you're arguing with your missus, and when your little ones are seeing that, and you just know deep down that they just shouldn't be seeing this stuff, they shouldn't be hearing this stuff, and not being master and commander, that's it, just not being master and commander. Do you know what that means? It's like this huge vessel. When you're not master and commander of it, it just gets thrown about by the wind and the waves. You're just not in control. You're just drifting, aimlessly drifting, surviving. Then you put up all these barriers so everyone else thinks everything's okay, but inside it's just this vessel that's just got no control whatsoever. I knew as I started my journey, and my journey, guys, took 18 months, okay? For some of you it'll be a lot less, but for me personally, I went on an 18-month journey. And all of the things I've just mentioned, for me, I like to use the illustration of a huge tree. You know the old saying, if you've got an axe and there's a huge tree and you take a swing at that tree every single day, sooner or later what? Sooner or later that tree is coming down, isn't it? Sooner or later it's coming down. So I knew for me personally that it needed to be a daily ritual, a daily routine that I had to do, because I couldn't think by the end of the week, I couldn't think by the end of the month, I couldn't think in 3 months' time, this is what I want to achieve. I'd been down that road and it was overwhelming for me. So the way I did it was every single day, every day's an opportunity to rise to it, man. Every single day, boom, every single day, and just nailing the day. I knew that those days would obviously add up, but I didn't let my mind run away with me. It's just getting this process right every single day. And that's how I started my journey, was going through that. I also had to clean up other areas, people that were associates of mine that were taking me down the wrong path. I just had to cut that. I just had to rip that out of my life. And maybe you're going to face the same decisions. It was getting this daily routine in place. Where it led me, the life I'm living now, I can't tell you just how incredible it is. what it's like to be master and commander, what it's like to say something and do it. You know, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. When you're a master and commander of your life force, it means that when there's a new opportunity, you unfurl the sails, and the sails catch the wind, and your life goes in this direction. When life throws a curveball at you, when there's hardship in your family, in your marriage, you need to tie all the sails down and weather out the storm. But you are in control of that. Guys, it took me 18 months to work out this process. This is what I want to take you guys on. So you don't need to waste all of this time. It's short tracking your journey so you can go through and get the results, be master and commander of your life again, to beat those addictions, to get that home life back in check, to get that family back together, to get that marriage back together, and then to get you, I'm building an army of men, get you into the communities to build those communities up. So again, I was in small, achievable goals. What has it done for me personally, guys? Well over a decade ago, that man that I just briefly told you about, fighting addictions with all those daily problems, to the man I am today, I've created a global fitness brand that is used in 68 countries. 68 countries, helping men all over the world, in prisons, in harsh environments, in elite sports, in armed forces. I do leadership conferences around the world. I've been presenting around the world now for a decade on different stages around the world, talking about culture, bringing people together, community, all sorts of things. This is what it's taken me on. If I draw a line for you here, there's a line here, and you are currently suffering with all those things I was suffering with. If nothing changes, what does this outcome look like? It's horrendous, absolutely horrendous, and you know it. You know it. Your home life, your married life, your physical health, your mental health. It sucks. That's if nothing changes. You and I are talking right now. If we change this timeline and you start to go on this direction, what does it look like for you? I've just told you what it looks like for me. I've built a global brand used in 68 countries by putting this daily routine and process of Spitphase in place. And it's taken my life on this new tangent up to here, this utopia. This can be you. I know it works. I'm living proof. There's so many men that it's changing their lives for. Men who have been with me, and after 2 months, 3 months, they tell me, Nathan, I'm moving to another city and I'm doing this as a new career. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, bro, I'm just following my heart. Isn't that wonderful? They are master and commander of their life force again. Their self-belief has been built up. Their self-respect has been built up. There's an old saying, guys, or there's an old story, and you might be familiar with this, because so many brothers I'm talking to, they're like, Nathan, I've got to support my family, I've got to support, my friends and all the rest of it. You're the foundation. If you are sand, in other words, if the foundation or the people you are talking about, you're meant to support, and you're sand, and a storm comes, this house here isn't going to last. But if you are rock, okay, and this comes from the Bible, if you are rock and the house is built on that, that house will weather the storm. You know it's the truth. So there's times when you need to be selfish and you need to emotionally invest in yourself. I know it works. I'm living proof it works. And so many men on this journey, it is turning their lives around. Not just to beat addiction, okay? That's just one thing. But then to start living life, chasing their dreams for themselves, their families, and taking all of that on this new tangent. And the ripple effect is this army of men that Spitphase is building. And I don't care what anyone says, communities need better men, husbands, fathers, leaders, and mentors for the younger warriors coming through. And Spitphase is building an army of men to go back out into these communities and lift these communities up. So, let me ask you this. Is your body broken? Is your body broken and you're saying to me, Nathan, I need to start this, but I am so out of shape? Because guys, this isn't for all men. This is a physical daily routine, and you've seen it. It is intense, it is brutal, it's a physical routine. It's something that changed my life, and it works because I'd tried other stuff and they didn't work for me, okay? So this isn't about writing stuff down, doing yoga, meditation. That didn't work for me, okay? This is physical because my physicality, the physical man I am, is directly linked to my emotional and mental health. If that is you, if they are all one and the same, if you function and perform at your best when you're doing an accountable physical routine, and you're not just accountable to yourself, you're accountable to a team. So in other words, all these brothers inside this closed group doing Spitphase, you become accountable to your brothers all around the world. And if you know that's when you perform and function at your best, to yourself and to your brothers, then this program is for you. If you're not a physical man, this program definitely isn't for you, okay? So guys, if you're concerned about the shape you're in, maybe you've let it go, maybe you're still smoking, you're drinking too much, you're overweight, you don't have any mobility, your knees are gone, your hips are gone, your ankles are gone, you need to get into the Quickstart Spitphase program. You need to get into the Quickstart Spitphase program. It's 10 days, we'll clean you up inside there, we'll get your body mobile again. That program is for men who are broken physically. If you are in decent shape physically, but your baggage, your challenges are mental and emotional, okay, but physically you're in still pretty good shape, you need to get into the Spitphase 30-day challenge. You need to get into that, okay? Because it will turn your lives around, my brothers. It will turn it around like that. Once you get 3 days under your belt, do you know what it's like to say you're going to step to the line and commit and get 3 days under your belt to yourself? Do you know how much that lifts you inside and gets that internal flame burning? You know what I'm talking about. Once you get 10 days, it's unbelievable, and you transition into this 30 days. Once you get 15 days under your belt, it's over 2 weeks to yourself. It's an incredible, incredible feeling, okay? So if you're broken, get into the Quickstart. If you're in decent shape, okay, if you're in decent shape, you need to get into right now. You need to get into that Spitphase 30-day challenge. Remember this, my brothers. If that timeline, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And I can't stand people who procrastinate, because that was me. That was me. And I certainly don't do that anymore well over a decade later. If I say I'm going to do something, boom, I will do it. It's what I want to give back to you guys, okay? If nothing changes, nothing changes. We're having this conversation now. You need to commit so you can take your life and your family's life on a new journey. And I'm looking forward to sharing the trenches with all my brothers in Spitphase. Get a touch. Boom!